Hi, good morning all of you. Today we are going to discuss about subject-verb agreement. This video is meant for the students as well as the people who are facing to understand the basic concept of subject-verb agreement, a concord, or even in the other term we call it as syntax. Let's start with the topic. What is subject-verb agreement? Word order or syntax or concord. These are the three usual names usually we attribute to subject-verb agreement. It refers to the rules of placing the verb in agreement with the subject in number and person. There are two types, singular subjects and plural subjects. In other words, a singular subject takes a singular verb and a plural subject takes a plural verb. This agreement with subject and verb is called concord, word order or even syntax. Then agreement. Agreement in speech and in writing refers to the proper grammatical match between words and phrases. Parts of sentences must agree or correspond with other parts in number, person, case and gender. So that means when we say a sentence, the subject, suppose if the subject is singular, the number of the verb also should be in singular. And when we take the case of an adjective or personal pronoun that refers to the subject, that also should be with the same gender and same case and the same person. Suppose if we take the name as Riku as the subject, then the number is singular, so the verb also should be singular, and the person as when we take the case of adjective or pronoun, that he or his can be used as the adjective or as pronoun. Then case also is referred with the same, that subject as which is used as subject. The gender is referred as masculine. So all this would be agreeing each other, and that we call as agreement. Then number. All parts must match in singular or plural forms. Person. All parts must match in person. That is when we take the first person I or we, second person you, or third person he, she, it, they. The fourth one is case. All parts must match in subjective, that when we take the case of pronouns like I, you, he, she, it, they, we, etc., or objective form me, her, him, them, us, etc., and possessive form my or mine. My is adjective, mine is pronoun. Then your is adjective, and yours is pronoun. His, both forms are same. Her is adjective and hers is pronoun. Their is adjective and theirs is pronoun. Our is adjective and ours is pronoun. So all these forms must be in agreement. Then the next case is with gender. All parts must match in male or female forms. Subject-verb agreement describes the proper match between subjects and verbs. Because subjects and verbs are either singular or plural, the subject of a sentence and the verb of a sentence must agree with each other in number. That is, a singular subject belongs with a singular verb form and a plural subject belongs with a plural verb form. There are two types of verbs according to the form of the verb, regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs follow a predictable pattern. For example, in the third person singular, regular verbs always end in yes. The other forms of regular verbs do not end in yes. For the third person singular, that means when we take the case of he or she or it, by the time we can say that he plays football, their play is added with yes form. But if you take the case of they as a plural form, they will not add the verb yes with it. Okay. So there they play. Irregular verbs. Not all verbs follow a predictable pattern. These verbs are called irregular verbs. Some of the most common irregular verbs are be, have and do. Learn the form of these verbs in the present tense to avoid the errors in subject-verb agreement. Forms of be. We can see the singular form and plural forms are given. In first person, with I, we can see I am, or past form is I was. Then plural form we are or we were. Then second person you are or you were. The plural form is also same, you are or you were. The third person, he, she, it is, or he, she, it was. If it is the plural form they are, or they were, would be added with these verbs, these subjects to form the subject-verb agreement. Next one, the forms of have in the present form. That singular and plural forms are given. First person, I have. You have. Then third person, he, she, it has. Then plural form, we and you have. And they also have the same form, have. So note that with the third person singular, we use has in the present tense and do in the present tense. First person, I do. And plural form we do. Second person you. With both singular and plural form the same addition is done. You do, you do. Third person he, she, it. That is singular. Along with that we add does to form the form of the verb. They do. That is added with plural form. Errors in subject-verb agreement. Errors in subject-verb agreement may occur when, the first case, a sentence contains a compound subject. Second one, the subject of the sentence is separate from the verb. Third one, the subject of the sentence is an indefinite pronoun such as anyone or everyone. The subject of the sentence is a collective noun such as team or organization. And the fifth one, if the subject appears after the verb. These are the 5 areas usually people make mistake when they say in English, and they make mistakes in subject-verb agreement. The first case is with the compound subject. A compound subject is formed by 2 or more nouns and the coordinating conjunctions and, or nor. And a compound subject can be made of singular subjects, plural subjects, or a combination of a singular and plural subjects. Compound subjects combined with and take a plural verb form. For example, we can say if 2 singular subjects are compounded together, Alicia and Miguel ride their bikes to the beach. With 2 plural form subjects, the girls and the boys ride. You can see the first sentence also, the verb was ride. The third one, singular and plural subject. Alicia and boys ride their bikes to the beach. So here the first case, whether two singular subjects or two plural subjects, or even one singular and one plural subject are combined together, then the subject is considered to be plural. So always the verb takes plural verb or plural form. The next one, compound subjects combined with or nor are treated separately. The verb must agree with the subject that is nearest to the verb. That means which verb form comes closer or near to the verb is considered to be taken as the number of the verb. For example, two singular subjects. Neither Elizabeth nor Rihanna wants to eat at the restaurant. Second one, two plural subjects. Neither kids nor the adults want to eat at the restaurant. Singular and plural subjects. Neither Elizabeth nor the kids want to eat at the restaurant. You can see the first three sentences take the verb want, but the fourth one, plural and singular subjects. Suppose if we add plural subjects in the beginning and a singular subject comes the second, then the verb changes to singular form. That means if the verb is if the subject is singular, which is closer to the verb, then the verb is also changed to singular form. Neither the kids nor Elizabeth wants to eat at that restaurant. Then two singular subjects. Either you or Jackson takes the furniture out of the garage. The two plural subjects. Either you or the twins take the furniture. Singular and plural subjects. Either Jason or the twins take. Then you can see the two sentences that comes in the middle. Either you or twins. Either Jason or the twins. There we can see that twins comes the second. That means two are there. It is treated as plural. So the verb take is also appeared plural. But in the first sentence, either you or Jason. Jason is the second noun used over there. That is singular. So that's why the verb take also changes to takes or to the singular form. The last one, plural and singular subjects are combined together. Either the twins or the Jason. The first and the last sentences you can see either the twins or you. The two subjects discussed in the first and the last sentences are plural, but the subject that is discussed closer or near to the verb is singular. So that's why the verb also has changed into singular form. Then separation of subjects and verbs. As you read or write, you may come across a sentence that contains a phrase or clause that separates the subjects from the verb. Often, prepositional phrases or dependent clauses add more information to the sentence and appear between the subject and the verb. However, the subject and the verb must still agree. Then, if you have trouble finding the subject and verb, cross out and or ignore the phrase or the clause that begins with the preposition or dependent clause or the dependent words. The subject of the sentence will never be in prepositional phrase or dependent clause. It is a tip to find out the subject. Now, let's do that. How it is practiced. The following is an example of a subject and verb separated by prepositional phrase. The students with best grades win the academic awards, which is the prepositional phrase. With the best grades is the prepositional phrase that is added with the subject. But if we raise a question to this sentence, which or what is the subject of the sentence, there the answer is given as the students with the best grades is considered to be the subject. But this particular subject is formed with the help of an addition of a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase means a phrase that begins or starts with a preposition is called as a prepositional phrase. With the best grades is a prepositional phrase that is added with the noun, the students. So, what is the real subject? Students. So, that's why students is treated as plural, so the verb must be plural. The second sentence, the puppy under the table is my favorite. Then, puppy is singular. Under the table is prepositional phrase. Just strike off the prepositional phrase, then you will get the subject. Puppy is the singular form. So that's why the verb is also singular. Is added with the sentence. The following is an example of the subject and verb separated by dependent clause. The car that I bought has power steering and a sunroof. The representatives who are courteous sell the most tickets. So we can see that when the subject is added with a clause, the car that I bought is a clause. There you can see that the same sentence, there are two subjects, the car is there and I is also treated as the subject, but it is the subject of a clause that I bought. Then we can see that particular part is to be removed. Then what is the subject? The car alone itself is treated as the subject. The other part that I bought is dependent upon the car. So that's why we have to just remove that part and take the subject car as the subject of the sentence. Then the verb is also singular. The representatives, the term itself says that it is plural. Then the dependent clause is there, who are courteous. Who are courteous means the part that starts with who is a dependent clause. It's a relative clause that is added with the subject representatives. So representatives is a plural form, so that's why the verb sell is also appeared in the plural form. Indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns refer to an unspecified person, thing or number. When an indefinite person serves as the subject of a sentence, we often use a singular verb form. However, some indefinite pronouns may require a plural form. To determine whether to use a singular or plural verb with an indefinite pronoun, consider the noun that the pronoun would refer to. If the noun is plural, then the plural verb with the indefinite pronoun is used. View the chart to see the list of the common indefinite pronouns and the verb forms they agree. The first one, anyone, anybody, anything. So the plural form is all, each. The plural form can be added with any, everybody, everyone, everything. That is added with none. Then much is added with plural form some. Then many. There itself is many, a is added in singular form and many is added with plural form. Nobody, no one, nothing is treated in singular. Someone, somebody, something is treated singular. The indefinite pronoun everybody takes a singular verb form because everybody refers to a group performing the same action as a single unit. The indefinite pronoun all takes a plural verb because all refers to the plural noun people. Because people is plural and all is also treated plural. Then collective nouns. A collective noun is a noun that identifies more than one person, place or thing and considers those people, places or things one singular unit. Because collective nouns are counted as one and they are singular and require a singular verb. Some commonly used collective nouns are group, team, army, flock, family and class. The class is going on a field trip. Here class is treated as a singular noun. When we take the case of here and there, in sentences that begin with here or there, the subject follows the verb. Here is my wallet. There are 30 students in the class. So the real subject is my wallet and the second sentence 30 students. If you have trouble identifying the subject and the verb sentences that starts with here and there, it may help to reverse the order of the sentence so the subject comes first. My wallet is here, 30 students are in the class, or 30 students are there in the class, also can be the combination. Then questions. When you ask questions, a question word who, what, where, when, why or how appears first. The verb and then the subject follow. Who are the people you are related to? There, the subject is the people. So after the question word who, and then there comes the helping verb, and after that there comes the subject. Rules of Concord. Rule number 1. A subject will come before a phrase beginning with of. This is a key rule for understanding subjects. The word of is the culprit in many, perhaps most subject-verb mistakes. Hasty writers, speakers, readers and listeners might miss the all too common mistake in the following sentence. A bouquet of yellow roses lend colors and fragrance to the room. The correct form is a bouquet of yellow roses lends, because the subject part starts with before of, the part comes as a bouquet. A. The word or the article a is singular, so that's why the verb also must be singular. Rule number 2. Two singular subjects connected by or either or neither nor require a singular verb. For example, my aunt and my uncle is arriving by train today. There, my aunt or my uncle, that any one. A selection is to be done. There, the subject is treated singular. Then, neither Joanne nor Carmen is available. Why is it is? Because that also gives us a choice. Either Kiana or Casey is helping today with stage decoration. So when we use or, neither nor, either or, the subject is treated singular, so the verb is also treated singular. Rule number 3. The verb in and or, either or, neither nor sentences agrees with a noun or pronoun closer to it. Neither the plates nor the serving bowl goes to the chef. Suppose if the sentence is, the subject is changed, neither the serving bowl nor the plates go on that shelf. Why the second sentence is go and the first sentence is goes? Because there we discussed earlier about the rule when we use neither nor or either or, the subject part that comes closer to the verb is treated for the number of the verb. So in the first sentence, serving bowl is singular, so the verb is also changed to singular. But in the second sentence, the plates is plural, so the verb is also plural. This rule can lead to bumps in the road. For example, if I is one of two or more subject, it could lead to this odd sentence. Awkward form is given. Neither she, my friends, nor I am going to the festival. Why is it there? Am is used over there because I is the last subject. Then, next one, if possible, it's best to reword such grammatically correct but awkward sentence. Neither she, I, nor my friends are going to the festival. Then, or she, my friends, and I are going to the festival. When and is used, by the time the subjects are treated plural. But when neither nor or either or are used, that says about the selection. There, the subject that comes at the last or closer to the subject is treated for the number of the verb. Rule number 4. As a general rule, use a plural verb with two or more subjects when they are connected by and. For example, a car and a bike are my means of transportation. There two are there, a car and a bike. Then, but not these exceptions. Breaking and entering is against the law. There, breaking and entering is considered or treated together as a single event or as a single subject. Then, so the verb is also singular. The bed and breakfast was charming. Then, both these cases together are treated in singular sense. In those sentences, breaking and entering and bed and breakfast are compound nouns. So, when they are compounded, by the time we can treat it as singular. Then, but in the case, we can see the poet and novel laureate. So, when we take the case of this case, suppose if both of these names are decorated with a singular person or a single person, in that respect, there the subject is also treated as singular. There, the subject, even though it is added with and, we consider the subject as singular and we take singular verb. Rule number 5. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as long as with, then as well as, besides, not, etc. These words and phrases are not the part of the subject. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. For example, the politician along with the newsman. Along with the newsman is the phrase that is to be ignored and consider the politician as the sole subject. Is expected shortly. Excitement as well as nervousness. When as well as is used, by the time the first subject is treated always. Then, parentheses are not the part of the subject. For example, Joe and his trusty mutt was always welcome. Then, Joe and his trusty mutt is considered to be compounded. Then, Joe with his trusty mutt. With his trusty mutt, that says the exception, so the subject is singular. Was is added. Then Joe as well as his trusty mutt was always welcome. There Joe as well as trusty mutt, in that case too Joe is considered single. Then Joe besides his trusty mutt was always welcome. In that case also Joe is considered as the sole subject. Rule number 6. In sentences beginning with here or there, the true subject follows the verb. For example, There are 4 hurdles to jump. This is a high hurdle to jump. Then here are the keys. So the real subject is 4 hurdle. 4 says it is plural. Then a high hurdle, a high, that says that the subject hurdle is singular. Keys, the term says that it is plural. So accordingly, we have to change the verb into either is or are. Rule number 7. Use a singular verb with distance, periods of time, sums of money, etc. when considered as a unit. Example, 3 miles is far to walk. 5 years is the maximum sentence for the offense. $10 is a high price to pay, but $10 or dollar bills were scattered on the floor. So in the first case, $10 or 5 rupees or 2000 rupees, etc. that is considered to be a singular term. But when we say that $10, 10 payments, 10 bills, the same term or the same noun is considered plural. Accordingly, the verb also should be changed into plural. Then rule number 8. With words that indicate portions, example, a lot, a majority, some, all. Rule number 1 given earlier in this section is reversed. And we are guided by the noun after of. If the noun after of is singular, use a singular verb. If it is plural, use a plural verb. The words like a lot of, a majority, some or all, when these are taken together, when they are used as determiners. A lot of pie has disappeared. That means a major portion of the pie. That is the meaning. So pie is considered singular. So that's why verb is also used as has. The next one, a lot of the pies. There it is, the subject is the pies. It is not the singular subject. The pies is considered plural. So that's why the verb is have disappeared, used over there. A third of the city is unemployed. The city is singular, so the verb is also singular. A third of the people is plural, so the verb are is used. All of the pie is gone. The pie again used as singular. All of the pies are gone. Their pies is plural. Some of the pie is missing. Their pie is singular. Then some of the pies are missing. The pies is plural, so that's why the verb are is used. Then note, some grammarians consider none as singular and to be treated the same way. According to Merriam-Webster's Dictionary of English Usage, clearly none has been both singular and plural since Old English and still is. The notion that it is singular only is a myth, a non-origin that appears to have arisen in the 19th century. If in context it seems like a singular to you, use a singular verb. If it seems like a plural, use a plural verb. Both are acceptable beyond serious criticism. So that means we can use either it as plural or singular when none is clearly intended to mean not one. It is followed by a singular verb. None is a singular verb when it is used alone. When it is used with a prepositional phrase starting with of The subject can be both plural and singular. For example, none of the plus singular noun plus singular verb. As example, none of the money has been used. None of the money has been used. The money itself is considered as singular sense. Then none of the teacher wants failure for students. There, the teachers or the teacher, one after another as a selective mode, as a choice, it is said with singular sense. None of the students want to fail. There, students is plural, so that's why the verb want is also to be treated plural. So, we can see the plural form of the verb is used. None of the bottles are clean enough to keep the water. Bottles is plural, so the verb are is also treated plural and used as plural. The last one, we can see that when no plus plural noun takes only plural verbs. No men are hungry now. No men, men is plural. There, that's why verb is also plural. Are is used as plural verb. Then rule number 9. With collective nouns such as group, jury, family, audience, population, and in this case, the verb might be singular or plural, depending on the writer's intent or the speaker's intent. For example, all of my family has arrived or have arrived. So, family as a single unit, we can use it as has arrived. At the same time, if you want to give the meaning as all the members of the family, there you can use the same word with have also. Most of the jury is here or are here. Jury means if it is taken as a single unit, you can use it as is here. Then if you want to say that all the members of this jury there, or the meaning is to be given, there are also can be used. All of the population was opposed. Sorry, a third of the population was opposed or were opposed to the bill. There was opposed and were opposed. A third, since it shows a distinction or a difference, we can use in plural form also. Anyone who uses a plural verb with a collective noun must take care to be accurate and also consistent. It must not be done carelessly. The following is the sort of flawed sentence one sees and hears a lot these days. The staff is deciding how they want to vote. Careful speakers and writers would avoid assigning the singular is and plural they to staff in the same sentence. The consistent form would be the staff are deciding how they want to vote. Rewriting such sentence is recommended wherever and whenever possible. The preceding sentence will read even better as the staff members are deciding how they want to vote. The staff is deciding or staff are deciding or the staff members are deciding. So better in this case we have two choices that we can either say as the staff are deciding how they want to vote or the staff members are deciding how they want to vote. Rule number 10. The word where replaces was in the sentences that expresses a wish or a contrary to fact. If Joy were here, you would be sorry. So there, Joy is not there. It is not possible for Joe to come. In this case, we can see that there we use where if it is an impossible condition. Then shouldn't Joe be followed by was, not where, given that Joe is singular but Joe isn't actually here. So we say where, not was. The sentence demonstrates the subjective mode which is used to express things that are hypothetical, wishful, imaginary, or factually contradictory. The subjunctive mood pairs singular subjects with what we actually think of as plural verbs. Example, I wish it were Friday. Because it is not Friday, it is Saturday or Sunday. So we cannot change the day. It is not possible. It is hypothetical. It is simply imaginary, or it is not factual. Then she requested that he raise his hand. In the first example, a wishful statement, not a fact, is being expressed. Therefore, where, which we usually think of a plural verb, is used with the singular it. Technically, it is the singular subject of the object clause in the subjunctive mood, it were Friday. Normally, he raised would sound terrible to us. However, in the second example, where a request is being expressed, the subjective mood is correct. The subjective mood is losing ground in spoken English but should still be used in formal speech and writing. Rule number 11. If the conjunction and is replaced by together with, along with, accompanied by, or as well as, the verb will have no effect for the later part of these expressions. The words prior to these expressions are the real subjects. For example, Tom, along with his brothers, is going to the city. His brothers is not the subject of the sentence. Alex, as well as his parents, is coming to the party. The boys, accompanied by their teacher, Mr. Robbins, are planning a tour. The boys, Alex, Tom are considered the subjects. So Tom and Alex takes singular singular verb, and boys is plural, so it takes the verb are. Then note, if these expressions are replaced by and, these subjects will be regarded as plurals, and also the verb also have to be plural. Rule number 12. Either or, neither nor, or and nor takes two nouns before and after them. The nouns placed after these conjunctions are regarded as the subject of the sentences. The nouns placed prior to the words or and nor have no effect on the verbs. Neither Alex nor his brothers. His brothers is to be taken consideration. There, his brothers is considered plural, so that's why the verb is plural. Either John and Alex, there and unites two subjects, that is John and Alex. So two are combined and treated as a compound noun. Then second option is with or I. So the real subject is to be treated as I. So the verb takes agreement with I am. Then the same sentence can be said in the other form. I or Robert opens the door. Why it opens? Because Robert is singular. When or comes over there, the second subject is taken into consideration. Neither the boys nor we are responsible for it. The subject is we, and so the verb is taken plural. Then, rule number 30. The sentences beginning with here or there are different in structure. In this case, the subject comes after the verb. Formation is here or there plus verb plus subject. For example, here comes the lion. So the real subject comes at the end. Here or there are treated as dummy subjects. There is a pond near the house. So the real subject is a pond. There are some candies on the table. So the subject is some candies. Here is the document for your car. The document is the subject. Rule number 14. Collective nouns are usually regarded as singular subjects. For example, the committee has decided to postpone the game. The family was ecstatic by news. The crowd enjoys the excitement in the game. $20 is not a lot of money. Here, the noun is plural, but the subject is regarded as a collective noun. The following phrases are also regarded as collective nouns and thus singular subjects. Flock of birds, sheep, then herd of cattle, pack of dogs, wolves, school of fish, pride of lions, etc. For example, a flock of sheep always moves together. A pack of wolves is approaching towards the herd of the cattle. A school of fish always hides from the big fishes. Then rule number 15. A number of plus noun is a plural subject. Then and it takes a plural verb. A number of plus noun is a singular subject. It takes a singular verb. That means after of, if the plural subject comes, then the verb will be plural. After of, if the noun is singular, the verb is also singular. For example, the number of dancers. Their dancers is plural, so the verb is also plural. Are coming to the party. Then the number of dancers coming to the party is 12. The number of dancers. There, the number of dancers to the party. So there, coming to the party, there we can see that it is changed into the definite form. So it is countable and the number is considered plural. So 12 is plural, but at the same time the number of dancers coming to the party. There, the last portion of the the subject gives us clarity. To the party. To the party is considered together as an event. That means when the definite article da is used with the number of, then it changes to singular. But if it is indefinite, a or an is used, a number of, there it is treated plural if the plural verbs comes out, plural noun comes after the same. A number of people prefers cricket to football. Then the number of days in this month is, there we can see that it is used with is. Whether it is 30, 31, 28, all these are considered plural. But at the same time, the beginning part, initial part is singular. Then, rule number 16. If a gerund or an infinitive comes as a subject, the verb will always be singular. For example, swimming is a good exercise. There, swimming is a gerund form and it is considered singular. Walking is a good habit. Then walking is also the same condition. Eating healthy food makes you healthy. To err is human. So to err is infinitive form. And the other, eating healthy food, walking, swimming are the gerund forms. When a gerund or an infinitive form is used as the subject, it is treated singular. Rule number 17. If the is added with an adjective, the subject will be treated as plural. For example, the pious are loved by God. The industrious are always not successful. The best do not lack integrity. The case we can see: the best, the industrious, the pious. These three words are considered to be adjective, but at the same time here it terms to be a noun. So when an adjective is used as a noun, by the time they are considered or treated plural. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video.